In today's video, I want to talk about Dave Filoni revealing the truth about Ahsoka Tano's introduction to Star Wars. So that all said, let's get right into it here with a quote from Dave Filoni. This comes from an interview on StarWars.com, and they asked Dave Filoni, "I see Ahsoka as an iconic Star Wars character now. At the fan screening, you joked that at the beginning of the Clone Wars, you had told Ashley Eckstein, people are going to hate you at first." And Dave Filoni responded by saying, "Oh, I told her that seriously. It was no surprise to me that that character was going to be met with a lot of skepticism and bile. I told her, you're entering a situation where people have imagined what Anakin Skywalker was like for 30 years. They saw it in the movies, and now we're going to expand on that. And never once in my wildest dreams did I imagine that he had an apprentice. That just never occurred to me. And George wants this. We have to make it work, but it's going to be met with a lot of resistance." End quote. And it's just incredible to hear Dave Filoni talking about the character that we all know he loves, Ahsoka Tano, and how it almost seems like he thought it was a bad idea to introduce Ahsoka Tano in the Clone Wars animation series. Or at the very least here, he's telling Ashley Eckstein that she isn't going to be liked right away. It really just shows us that over time, Dave Filoni has put so much love and care into this character that she's almost become like a child to him, and that it just wasn't that way in the beginning. But getting back to the interview, Dave Filoni says something even more mind-blowing to me. He states, "The original version of Ahsoka did not have her calling Anakin Sky Guy, and he did not call her Snips. It was the story of a young girl that was taken from the temple and thrust into a war zone. It got changed later. It was decided that it was too serious, and we had to start from some place that was a bit more fun. So she became this snippy, kind of bratty character that talked back to a Star Wars legend." End quote. And I don't know about you, but I would have loved to see this alternative introduction to Ahsoka Tano. The truth is, I really think that if Ahsoka Tano had showed up in that movie, and she was sort of this wide-eyed Padawan that was frightened and had to overcome that fear, and if Anakin had been the one to help her with that, I think that would have been an even better introduction. But Dave Filoni doesn't seem to agree with me. He states, "I think part of the brilliant thing about the character that George knew that at the time in 2005, I was just too inexperienced to know, was that if we start her in this place, we can get her to where she is now. When you go back and look at her in the Clone Wars movie, she seems like a child. Her attitude, her behavior, and I think it makes it vastly more interesting to go back and watch now." End quote. And certainly, I can see what Dave Filoni's saying. George Lucas knew he was going to have time to develop Ahsoka Tano, that she didn't have to come off as a fan favorite right away, but that him and Dave Filoni and their writing team, well, they'd get her there eventually. But hey, Star Wars fans, let me know what you think about this all in the comments below. As always, I'm Mike, thanks for watching, and may the Force be with you.